Hi everyone, Brandon Lee with LudiaTV. We are at Field Service Palm Springs. Another beautiful day outside, a great day going on inside. And Robert Hunnicut Jr. from Vixo has been gracious enough to spend a little bit of time with me again.
Happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome. So Vixo is one of the leaders in field service. You have over 150,000 technicians out on the field. What are you learning at field service this year?
Just the commonalities that we're all trying to figure out how to leverage AI, how to integrate in our business, that we're not alone out there, that we all share the same problems and are looking for exciting solutions.
And you're all there doing some really innovative, some new things. You're really leading the way with AI. And I know with Vixo, you've been at Vixo for a while, but you're in a new role specifically around this. Tell us a little bit about that role.
Yeah, so I'm the VP of IT for Vixo, helping to lead our technology department, but with the specialization and try and figure out how can we leverage generative AI to improve our customer experience, to improve our technicians, and just integrate it into our business and make it a differentiator for us.
And what are you learning? Lots of stuff, I would imagine.
You need to find the right partner. You need to make sure you find the right platform. And you need to make sure that you can find a tenable solution to what you're trying to accomplish.
And what about in the practical, the day-to-day? Because you have 150,000 technicians out there and you're bringing in change. How are you going about that? Getting adoption and getting them to understand what's coming and getting them excited about it?
Really, you want to make sure that it's easy for them and that it's correct and that it's complementing their already great skills and efforts, and it just makes it more seamless for their day-to-day lives. If you try and force it down their throats, there could be some friction points there, but if you're able to kind of make sure like, hey, this is to aid in your day-to-day work, that's where you kind of see the best, adoption.
Now, you were part of a workshop yesterday with Lucas and Scott from Ludia Consulting. Tell us a little bit about that workshop.
It really was just more of a practical conversation about how to get started with AI, because AI right now can feel very scary because it feels like it can do anything and everything, but most companies can't afford to do anything and everything. You got to find a very specific use case, and then what are the steps or what are the thoughts you need to do to make a project or make that happen, and hopefully just give people a framework of how to start attacking those problems.
And you did that in the workshop. Will you walk us through a little bit? A lot of people looking at AI, excited, scared, see the possibilities, very nervous. What are the steps that they should go about? How do they approach this with confidence?
Yeah. Try and find a very particular use case. Say, if we could figure out how to do this one business process is different, that is where we would start. Then, do we have the data or the institutional knowledge to support those conclusions to make that happen? Because if you don't have the data and you're trying to solve for something, you're going to have a disconnect. You're going to struggle a lot. And don't be afraid to do like a POC. You don't have to spin up an entire project team to just try something to see if it fits, not committing tons of development dollars on the table just to try and do something. Try and fail forward, be iterative, make really small adjustments.
That's all great advice. Those are all great advice, and I think as people look into it, it's the right way to go. But what are some of the nuance of things? What have you learned, or what are some of the pitfalls that may not be as obvious?
Yeah. If you're getting not great results from your generative AI, spend more time on prompts. Get that framework of, hey, I need you to do this task, giving it better instructions. That's how you get better output. A lot of people want to treat AI like Google, where they ask it a question and then it's just going to spit out a response. And they're like, oh, I don't like that. You need to spend more time instructing or doing that prompt engineering to get those great results.
Give a little advice to people. We spoke about prompt engineering before, and I really like what you said. Help people understand, like, how do they do a better prompt?
Yeah, you need to give it more business context, because really it's just a math problem trying to figure out what is the next word in this sentence and say, I need you to act as a blank. I need you to provide a summary of this. Give it the structure of how you want that response. That's how you get better results.
Context, and a little bit more context. And then I would say what I heard from you is keep trying. Keep
iterate. Tokens are relatively cheap. Keep trying things. Change your prompt. Iterate.
Okay, so we're here at Field Service 2024. I'm assuming you're coming back next year. What do you expect the conversations are going to be like next year compared to this year?
I think more people will be down this generative AI journey. They've done something. They've moved out of the theoretical and more into the practical. And then it's like, okay, now that we've landed this AI project, how do we expand it? How do we get into different areas of our business to continue its evolution?
Now, what is one outcome that you're most excited about over the next 6 to 12 months with everything that you've been implementing at Vixo?
Just getting the feedback from the field, trying to take these tools that we've been building, put it in their hands, see how they react to it, see the benefit to their day-to-day work. That's what I'm really excited about. I want the feedback. I want to iterate even more based on what we're seeing in the field.
Can you give us one example of something that's been a real positive output from the field that you were able to experience and go, yeah, what we're doing is making a difference?
So obviously a lot of our technicians are handling very complex pieces of equipment. How can we get them the right information at the right time on the customer site to make sure that we're improving their ability to service those machines, as opposed to having to store all that knowledge in their head or have a network of technicians they can reach out to, put that in their hand where they can do more work themselves.
And last question, what are you most excited about personally as you're, eyeball deep in this inside of Vixo with technicians? What's one thing that you look at and go, I can't wait to see this implemented and the difference it's going to make?
If you just think about the journey that we've been on with ChatGPT from 3 to 4, 4 seems such like a light speed jump from 3, and we know that ChatGPT 5, whatever they're going to call it, is coming down the pike, and it's just going to be smarter. And this thing just keeps growing and growing and getting better and better, and it doesn't feel like we're having to wait for a whole year to get new things. It's like matter of months, matter of weeks, and I think that's the really most exciting part about it.
Little fear with that as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The great unknown. What can it do? What can it do? Yeah.
All right, last little piece of advice as we wrap up. Lots of people, they're in your shoes. They're a little bit further behind. What's that one piece of advice? I know you've talked about start, fail fast, but is there anything in there that you just think is really the big difference maker as they approach this?
Focus on your data. Everyone can drop an LLM or an AI onto a business process. What makes a solution different is the data behind it, that really specific business context data that you guys have in your company. How can you bring that to bear? How can you bring all of those insights together to teach the AI to answer better questions?
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Well, Robert, thanks for joining me again, and I'm sure I'll see you again and again on LudiaTV. And for everyone joining us, thank you for joining us again on another great episode from Field Service Palm Springs, and we'll see you on the next episode.